Welcome to You've Got a Thing on a Thursday, an interview thing about Milwaukee theater things. My name is Jamelyn Gray. I am the artistic director of the Constructivists, president of the Milwaukee Theater Alliance, producer of this program, and today I am joined by... Sir, would you like
I
to...
am Michael Lucchesi, producing playwright for Between Two Rivers at
Awesome.
Sunstone Studios.
Awesome. Welcome, Michael. We were actually supposed to do this last Friday, and then I had a bit of a meltdown over here at my house for things that I just don't need to get into, but it just sort of made Friday impossible. So here we are today, 6 days later, to talk about, Between Two Rivers, an original work written by you, good sir.
Yes, it was, and it still is. It never ends.
Well, you actually opened last week, yeah?
We opened on, we had a Pay What You Can on Thursday. We had a little bit of a glitch as far as a COVID, kind of a backlog that one of our cast was exposed to someone who was exposed to someone who was positive. So
Yep.
we canceled 3 shows and added 1 the next week.
Oh, okay.
So instead of 3, 3, 3, we had 4 and 3.
Okay. Well, that's the world we're living in right now, yeah?
That's right.
That's
right.
where we're at.
And
so
it happened at it wasn't a good time that it happened, but it happened at the best time before anything was really, underway. So it's not like we had to start and stop and start. And we had time to, finish up some of the smaller set and lights and all those kind of details that may have gone slightly unfinished.
Oh, great. So COVID gave you extra tech time.
Yes.
Thanks, COVID. Thanks. See, there's a positive.
Yeah, no one has thanked COVID appropriately yet for that, I guess.
All right. Well, okay. So just tell me about. Well, first of all, when did you write this piece?
Well, it's like I said, I started in 2015, but periodically I pick it back up, and so it's never really finished. It's always kind of evolving a little bit more. It's about a family, dysfunctional to the max, but it's basically a story that could happen to real people.
Okay.
Based on Adam and Eve, if Eve was Adam's daughter and not his wife.
Okay. Tell me more about that. How did you come to that point?
12 years of parochial school.
Oh, well, I mean, as many of us went through.
So I heard the story over and over about Adam and Eve and, the apple and the snake and everything. And so that just kind of led to some thought on it. And one of the older Bible stories actually has a woman named Lilith, who was Adam's first wife, who kind of picked up and left on him because she wasn't being treated as an equel. And then that's when
toxic masculinity went all the way back to the beginning.
The first guy.
Patriarchy.
I had done research about, when God was a woman and like the fertility goddesses and all that. And for a long time,
Gaia, yeah.
Until they figured out like where children came from, everybody was pretty much equal. But I digress. So I was thinking about, why the rib and all that stuff. And I decided that that was really a metaphor for the fact that Eve came from Adam. And then I started to think about original sin and incest and a number of other things.
Okay.
So that's my take on it, is that incest is the original sin. There's two trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And I decided that those were metaphors for, like the tree of life, you could live forever if you ate from that. And to me, that just meant that the generations would continue and there would be, like a direct grandparents and parents and children. And that was a good tree. And then the tree of knowledge of good and evil was like sex that was, not really very healthy.
Okay. How many actors? How many people in the cast? Like, what is the?
There's 5 actors.
Okay.
There's 3 men and 2 women. So there's a father and a mother, the 2 brothers that are basically Cain and Abel, and then Eden is basically Eve. She's a 17-year-old girl.
Okay. Did you how did the casting process go? Is it just people that you knew, or did you have to do Zoom, or how did you
Uh,
were you able
you
to make
know,
in person happen at that time?
when we went to the first general audition, that was at Sunstone Studios. So that was
Okay.
August, I think.
Yeah.
And everyone, he cast Tim Kietzman, the director. He cast
Uh-huh.
everyone out of that one audition.
Oh wow.
And then again, COVID reared its ugly head.
Yeah.
And Jim, Santel, who was a corporate lawyer and was cast as Aaron, the father, he had to attend some kind of a conference and he was exposed to
Oh.
COVID. So then we had to scramble, and Tim was acquainted, or, very acquainted with Scott Sorensen, who agreed to come on and learn it in a big hurry and has done a very
Wow.
good job, starting from the back of the pack
Yeah.
with everyone else. And yeah, so in a way, we got lucky, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's just where we're at. I mean, we've over at the Constructivist, we've been in rehearsal since, beginning of September, whatever it is, same thing. Somebody comes in contact with somebody else, and then all of a sudden you've got a whole bunch of things to navigate. I mean, in our case, it ended up being like a positive,
Yeah,
negative, or whatever it is, but it really made us
yeah, yeah,
reevaluate, because you make your own little bubble or whatever, and then there's the masks issue with theater. Well, then who wears masks and who doesn't? I mean, we decided that anybody that
right.
sort of wasn't an actor had to wear a mask, but
Yes.
just
And
to sort of limit your exposure and do what you can.
we test every week. Um, Anya, who was the actor whose roommate was exposed to it, she had to test. She had to quarantine and
Yep.
then test every day for 5 days.
Yeah. Yeah. That is just the world right now. So, well, tell me how, because this isn't the first project of your own writing that you've produced, right? Like, this is,
Correct.
you're familiar with this process.
Uh, of self-producing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, this time I did a little different. I had a GoFundMe, which helped quite a bit.
Okay, great.
And so I didn't have to okay, what?
I said, great, great.
I didn't have to put up, great, great, great. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that helped quite a bit.
Okay.
You know, Sunstone, like and probably you know this from Milwaukee Theater Alliance, that everyone's work is supposed to be valued approximately the same. So the GoFundMe helped quite a bit, that I was able to, pay for rehearsals and pay for the stage manager and pay for the light guy and pay for, whatever else had to happen. And then there was other, I had to approach people that I knew that I could get some money from. But as it turned out, like, this was a much bigger show, really, than when we did the one act suite 2 years ago.
Mm-mm-mm.
But it's turning out that it's costing about the same.
Okay.
For me. It costs quite a bit more, but as far as my personal financial indebtedness, I'm coming out about the same.
Okay. Well, I mean, those are all issues that we're trying to make the public more aware
Smooth
of
out.
with the Milwaukee Theater Alliance,
Yeah.
and get
Yeah.
more knowledge out there of what it actually takes to make theater happen.
Yeah.
Especially if you're an independent producer, if you don't have big corporate backing or anything like that, it's a lot of heavy lifting, and a lot of times
Yeah.
singular heavy lifting.
Right. And it's, there's like a lot of running around and whatnot. If you're an independent producer, part of the problem is that you don't really have like a stable of people that you can depend on all the time.
Yep.
Or, like, you don't have a season, so people can't, like, keep track of you or check in with you as much. And so, like, I've been extremely coincidentally lucky, to have stumbled more or less onto Tim, who is not only a terrific director and co-producer, because he takes a lot on himself that a lot of directors probably wouldn't, everything from screwing in the trim on the floor to coming up with alternative designs for ideas we had that didn't work or couldn't work, as far as, depending upon walking in and finding out that there's no studs in the wall, so that happened to us. So as a co-producer, and also, like Posey and Kirk, they took on a lot. And unfortunately, Kirk wasn't able to, the time was not right for him, but he was able to bring Ben Yella in, who just kind of jumped in with both feet, designed the lights, and it appears to be seamless, basically. But, it was a lot of pool sticks and plates spinning for a while. But everything worked out. I mean, the show is great. The actors are so good. Tim did a terrific job. He can get people to do what he wants without, like, hurting their feelings. I mean, he can push buttons, and people like having those buttons pushed and having themselves pushed and stretched. Actors, they're more than happy to go along with him. Everything, for all the minor problems we've had, I think everything has worked out great.
You can get tickets through the Sunstone Studios site, right? Is where you're processing all those through. Yeah. So I have that up there. That's just Sunstone Studios mke.com. You can go to find out more information about the show and purchase tickets and all of that. Yeah. So I mean, they did a bang up job over there at Sunstone, just making it look all pretty and amazing, and opening it up a little bit more than what it had been in the past. How has it been?
Oh, yeah.
How has it been working in a brand spanking new sort of venue, like a refurbished venue?
I think the venue, there's a couple of problems that I would not have noticed, but that Amber and Jim said, well, we gotta live with this for a year, or we gotta live with this for 6 months. But the biggest thing was of their support, that they've done a lot of stuff, and the ticketing and the marketing is like something that you got to be on top of all the time, which
Yeah,
I didn't have to worry too much about that this time. I really just had to worry about the show, and
that's great.
they keep saying we're learning as we go, we're learning as we go, but
Well,
they're doing a pretty good job over there.
I mean
And
that whole
they're learning
thing,
fast.
that that
What?
that whole thing happened so fast for
Yeah,
off the wall to be like, okay, it's time to let this go, and then for Sunstone to jump in and turn around and be like, and really it was all about, and that was really Amber's charge, and not Amber and Jim, to be like, we can't lose this venue.
yeah,
We can't
no,
lose, like, meaning the arts community can't afford to lose another venue to,
and
corporate
people
America
think
or whatever
that
it
there's
was that was going to take that over.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
people think there's a lot of venues out there, and there might be, but you need a
No.
venue that people are used to going
Yeah.
to see theater.
Yeah.
Like, it's great to do it in a church basement. It might be a terrific show,
Yeah.
or
The basement of
somewhere,
a
but
mall. Yeah.
it could be great. It could be the best show, but if people aren't familiar with it or looking for it to be there, then you've got another hurdle that you
Yeah.
got to get over.
Yeah. Yeah. That, I mean, yeah, there's something, the humans are creatures of habit, yeah. And so if they already
Absolutely.
know the place, if they already know their favorite parking spot, if they already know their favorite restaurant, if they already know
Exactly.
the things, they're going to be
Restaurants, or
more likely to
after.
be like, "Oh yeah, I'll pop over there." Yeah.
Sure.
Um yeah, also something we're working on at the Theater Alliance to be better about, helping create new venue spaces, and getting the word out better for smaller or arts organizations, and smaller independent producers and things like that.
Yeah.
Trying.
And I mean, originally we were supposed to do the show at 53212 when it was upstairs at the brewery.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Turns out we
our
were the
friend,
only ones
our
who
friend
did
David,
anything up there.
right, the
I
only
mean, there
one,
was a
and
couple
that
of
was,
things before us, but we were the last ones to do anything up there. Yeah.
you were the last.
Yeah.
And that was such a great space, even though it was up the stairs, and,
Yeah, there
that
were a lot of windows
long
up there. Yeah.
staircase and all that. But, yeah, but that rug not only got pulled out on me, but on them. And
Yeah.
then, uh, so, like, when Kirk and Posey got the raw space over on Fratney, we were all set to do it there, and all of a sudden it was the plumbing or
Oh,
something else
sure.
happened to them, and that got then, like I said, I didn't want to wait, because it would have been into February probably for us if we
Mm,
had waited for 53212, and I said, nobody's going to come out in February, and then it's going to be May, and then all of a sudden it's going to be festival time. It's going to be another year, and we just didn't want to wait. We
yeah.
had too much already in the process.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we kind of lucked into Sunstone Studio one day. I don't remember if I saw it on the internet, or I think I probably, something from Milwaukee Theater Alliance popped up and it said, "Oh, congratulations! This Amber and Jim have taken this space over," and I just there happened to be like a window between Toil and Trouble, and I think Macbeth is the next one,
Yeah.
or I don't
Like
remember what
next
the next one
week.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it was really shoehorned in that, like, they closed, and then we had to go down there on Sunday morning and help strike, and then we have to strike, and they're going to come in, Monday, and we have to strike Sunday. But it turned out, it worked out okay. It's very, very close.
It sounds like it worked out pretty perfect to me, but
it could have worked out a lot worse.
Could have worked out a lot worse.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have
the time was there.
Yeah. So you've got one weekend left. You're back up tonight?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
Friday,
Saturday,
and
Sunday. What time are your shows?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday and Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 5.
Okay. What's the runtime?
So with a 15-minute intermission, it's almost exactly 2 hours.
Okay.
So it's, 1:45.
I don't remember. Do they have beverages down there yet?
No.
Can you bring your own water?
You can bring your own water.
Okay.
They might even give you a water if you come in.
Okay. Okay. Another thing that they got to work on. It's a work in progress.
Well, that's it. They have
whatever
a plan,
they did a great job over there.
It's like the 5th or 6th in line about what they need to get done before that the bar is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, great. So anybody that wants to go can just pop over to Sunstone Studios MKE.com and
yes. And there's also a 15-minute rush where you can get a half price ticket.
Oh, right on. Awesome. So get half price at the door. 15 minutes.
Yes.
Before.
Right.
That's awesome. Anything else? What's next for you after this closes? You got something else coming up?
Well, then the process starts over with finishing the project that I'm working on, which is called Resistance Circle, and it is about Mildred Fish Harnack, who was from Milwaukee. She was a college, I don't think she was a professor, but she was a lecturer and like an assistant professor, and she went to Germany and joined the resistance with her husband, and was actually the only American who was ordered executed by Adolf Hitler personally.
Wow.
So that's going to be a big, it's pretty interesting. So she's from Milwaukee. She met her husband Arvid at UW-Madison, where he was like on a scholarship, Fulbright scholarship, or something like that. And they went to Germany, and so reading multiple books about her, Berlin. What?
I said, and they moved to Germany, and she pissed off Hitler. Way to go.
Yeah, basically that's the way it worked. And they would have never gotten caught except for loose lips sunk ships. And
yes.
They were doing fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and so I've been working on that for about a year, and
okay.
So I think it's probably going to take me another year.
Okay.
At least another year.
All right.
Thanks for asking.
All right. Well, good luck on that, and all you out there. Between Two Rivers closes this weekend, so get your butts over to Sunstone Studios and see a show.
The actors do such a great job, and they're just nailing it. So
a lot of hardworking artists out there at the forefront level.
Yeah. I say we might have small audiences, but no one leaves disappointed when they see the show. Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for taking the time out of your day to come and visit with me today. And thank all of you out there who are watching this either now or later. Thank you so much for coming to You've Got a Thing. Come back tomorrow, because we'll be doing it again tomorrow. And I might know some people, because
who's on the show tomorrow?
So Everybody out there, thank you for your support of live theater, and we'll see you back here tomorrow on You've
Super.
Got a thing.